If you're creating a logo that's going to be used for print, you have a couple of options. You can either use Pantone colours or CMYK colours. Now Pantone colours are solid colours. They have a colour chart where you can literally specify a colour by its number. So for example, say you wanted to create a bright red and yellow logo. You could choose perhaps Pantone 123 yellow and Pantone 185 red. Or if you wanted a soft green and purple logo, you could choose 375 green and Pantone 2587 purple. So I'm just going to show you how to access the Pantone colours in Illustrator. You can do that by going to Window, Swatch Libraries, Colour Books, and I tend to use the Pantone Solid Coated down the bottom here. And you'll see this palette comes up. Now you have different options of how you view this palette. You can view it as small thumbnails, which just gives you swatches of different colour. If you hover over the top there, the number comes up, the Pantone number. But I tend to use either the small list view or the large list view. Now if I'm looking for a specific colour, I can actually just type it in if I know the number already. So say for example I'm looking for a green. I know there's a green called 347. So I type just in the numbers 347 and up comes the colour. Then obviously you can just draw anything you like and colour it up in the Pantone colour you want. Now if you're using CMYK colours, CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow and black. What it means that every colour that you choose will basically be made up of those four colours. So if you wanted to make an orange, you'd have to make that up out of yellow and magenta. So you might, for example, make that of 50 magenta and 100 of yellow. And if you saw that orange printed and then blew it up under a magnifying glass, you'd see tiny dots of magenta and yellow like I've showed here. In Illustrator you can access the CMYK palette by going Window, Colour, and then you just switch here, click on this little arrow, click CMYK, and you can just move these sliders to whatever you want. So say for example I was looking for a nice bright red, I know that can be made out of 100 of yellow and 100 of cyan. And then obviously we can just fill in a box with that and change it. So if I just wanted magenta, that would change if I'm still selected. If I wanted a green, I could do 100 of cyan and 100 of yellow, and I'll let you play around with that a bit more. Now the other option is to create web-based logos, and these are using RGB, which stands for red, green and blue light, and all the colours we've made out of those three lights. So if you want to choose web colours, RGB colours, you can go to Window, Colour, just like we did before, and then just change this to RGB, and obviously you can move these sliders around. And the warning triangle will just come up if it's not a web safe colour. I don't think you need to worry about that so much anymore. But also you can access it from here, so you could change the colours, you can drag if you wanted to do it that way. You can do the same with the CMYK as well. And also, as you change the RGB colours, you'll get a hexadecimal, these colours are called down here. So you could actually specify a colour by putting in, if you knew the colour, things down here. So that would give us a pink,